What's up, everybody? This is Jake Brewer, and you are watching The Music Enthusiast.
Hey, what's up? I'm Sarah from the Music Enthusiast, and today I'm here with Jake Brewer. How are you?
I'm so good, Sarah. It's so nice to finally chat with you. I've heard so many great things. I've seen the interviews before, and it feels like an honor to be sitting here with you one-on-one.
Oh my God, that is so nice. I'm so happy to be talking to you too. You are amazing, and your music is amazing. So this is so
Thanks.
great.
Thanks. Well, I mean, everybody knows I love talking about it, so we're hopefully in for a good one here.
Yeah, hopefully. Starting off, do you have like a fondest musical memory?
I think I have so many, and really from like when I just like started, one of my favorite just memories of my entire life is the first time my parents came to see a show that I was playing. And I remember like my mom came up to me like after, and she was just like sobbing, and she was just like so excited for me and so like, proud of me in that moment. I think that was something that was truly like an honor to like, my parents had like heard me like perform, sporadically before, but like to see like a headlining show that I was playing, and then just to like be able to sit there and like listen to me like pour my heart out for an hour, I think was something that was just really exciting for me too, to give back to them because they'd been so supportive.
Definitely, that's so sweet. And what do you feel like a Jake Brewer show looks like?
Oh, it changes all the time. I toured a couple years ago, and I mean, I've been like dying to do it again ever since, but it was very like acoustic. It was basically just me and a guitar and a keyboard or whatever for like an hour. And it was so much fun because I just basically gave like a one-man show, but I'm dreaming up a lot of new ideas and such. I mean, the music has just changed stylistically in the past 2 years. And so whatever happens next, I hope there's moments where, I really can just play a guitar and we can have a really sort of simple setting. But I also hope there's moments where we can really bring an energy and a song to life in a new way. And that thought has really changed the way that I've created a lot of music lately, just because I want to make sure that there's music fit for live performances, which is a whole goal of mine that I can't wait to get back to.
Yeah, that's so cool. And whenever you come to Montreal, I'll be there. Don't
All
worry.
right, I'm adding it to the bucket list. Montreal it is. I'll be there.
Amazing. And you have to try poutine. So, yeah.
Have to try what? What is it?
Poutine.
Poutine?
It's like French fries, cheese, and gravy. It sounds gross, but it's good.
Okay. All right. Well, when in Montreal, I guess it's happening.
Yeah, it is. uh, Back to music. I mean, this year you've been like becoming more comfortable writing and like writing everything basically. So was that sort of like a struggle at first?
Yeah, I think I'm at a point now where I feel like I've really gone through the phase of writing what I think would do well. And at this point, it's really fun just to be writing whatever I want every single day. And I told myself, we did an album last year. It feels like longer than that, last February. And I told myself once that came out that it was going to be like a while. Like I told almost everybody I knew, like this is going to be a hiatus for a while. Like I really just want to like live my life, and then be able to pull some new sort of stories and stuff into writing whatever happens next. And then I literally wrote an EP that summer and released that.
Yeah.
And then I literally did not stop from there and just kept going. And I found that I had this perception of wait till I experience something to write about it. And then, once there's enough there, then to put a project together. But I've kind of fallen in love with this different sort of strategy of writing as I go, in a sense. And like, when I released a song recently, it's called Pilot, and like that sort of storyline was very, very relevant at that time. And I almost did not want to wait too long for that to get out, because my goal is, and however long you hear an evolution, at least emotionally and lyrically, from Pilot, because you almost are experiencing it in real time in a sort of way. And I've just been nonstop writing. I've had so much change in my life over the past 6 months. I think there's plenty to write about. There's been no writer's block whatsoever. So I'm really just trying to roll with that. And of course, now I have an incredible team of people that I'm working with. I'm working with a producer for the first time like ever, and she's just insane in the best way possible. And brings to life music in a way that I could never. And so it's feels like I just want to keep going always, and I'm the most inspired I think I've ever been.
And that's amazing because some people, like, especially in this time, they're like struggling to write stuff, like writer's block, obviously. So
Yeah.
dealing with the complete opposite of that, like, do you get sleep? Basically, is my question.
The short answer is no. Really no. And I mean, I'm always somebody that it's actually weird. Most of my songwriting usually happens very like late at night because that's when your thoughts are the clearest, or that's when you feel like most like with yourself and centered. Um, and I think that's a time that I've really started taking or not taking for granted, because that's when it just really sort of pours out to me. It's also when I do a lot of recording now. It's awesome. I have like everything I need to record in my own apartment. And so fully it will be like midnight, and like God bless my neighbors.
Yeah.
Like the poor things have to deal with that like so often, but I will like if I'm feeling some sort of way, I will legit turn off every single light in the apartment, and I will be in the pitch black and just record a song that way, because that's just what I want to like do in that moment. And that sort of freedom I think has inspired me a lot more, and that comes with having my own sort of space now too.
Yeah, totally. And like your neighbors getting like serenaded at night, that's pretty cool.
Well, I'm sure after a while, especially because it's not just like one, it's like they're hearing the same verse over and over and over, and they're like, okay, like how many harmonies is he gonna attempt? Like, yeah.
Yeah, totally. And writing songs, are you more of like a notes app person or like a notebook sort of person?
I'm more of a voice memo person. Like, I love that sort of piece. The number of times that like I will legit jump out of the shower to grab my phone and like because that's like again, it's something weird about like centering yourself
Yeah.
and like having that sort of moment to like think of like of a melody, or like I'm if you ask my roommate, like I'm always making noise in some sort of way. And so even if I'm like working on something that has nothing to do with music, I'll like have some sort of melody, and I'll legit put that into my phone. And then, whenever it comes to write something, that's when I'll go, okay, what melody do I want to use and see what fits today? And it's just like you look through your own sort of catalog of melodies.
Yeah, that's so cool. And then you like discover things that you forgot about like from a while ago. That's amazing.
Yes, yes. And it's fun. It's like, when did I think of this? And I was like, I do not remember recording this at all. And most of the time it's like really, really quiet because I was trying to be quiet. So like you can barely hear it in a way. And so it's like a fun game that I do to make it harder on myself.
Yeah. Like you have to put it more than full blast.
Yes. Yep. It's I always have to like crank it up super loud and listen to it a million times. And I always find that like actually like writing that way, almost like improvising a song. Like sometimes I'll do I'll just record a whole chorus on voice memo and see where that goes. Most of the time it does not end up being the final verse because it's so bad. But I have always wanted to. There's a ton of them actually. I have like 20 different versions of Pilot before the one that like came out, and I have thought about like sharing those because it's very funny almost how different they were like 8 versions ago, like even like lyrically, or what I thought was going to be the final. It's like I don't know, it's really funny. I've thought about releasing it because I think it just shows the progression of a song so well.
Do you have your phone right now? Do you want to show like a clip of one?
Here, let's see, it was on my computer too.
Okay.
um let's see,
So that would be so cool.
I bet I have. Let's see. Now you're really putting me on blast too, but I love it. But here's the also thing too. None of them are labeled. Like it's all like new recording 139. Um,
Well, no worries then if you can't find it.
if anything, I will get you the one. There is the melody for the song I just released. It's called Slowly Fell Undone. I know is in here somewhere, and it's so funny because it sounds so bad, and you can literally hear my like roommate like making dinner or something in the other room. Um,
If
yeah, see, literally look, they're like all like new recording. There's like stuff in here I don't remember at all. Okay. Anyway, I'm gonna get you one though, and I'm gonna share it in some sort of way, or I'll at least whenever this drops, I'll post it out like, and we'll like, okay, because
Yes.
I will share. I'll give you the exclusive.
Okay, amazing. And I mean, Pilot is amazing. That was your first single in like a year or something. So what was it like finally releasing a track after like taking like a mini hiatus, like you said before?
Yeah, Pilot was in the best way possible one of the most like emotionally rough processes of releasing a song, because I really wanted it to feel like almost like just a strong like comeback in a way. Like I wanted people to hear it and go like, oh, like he really took the time
Yeah.
to create something new, a new sound, and really just reflect upon himself and tell a new sort of story. And I love Pilot so much because there's so many different layers to it. And I listen to the song in a totally different way that other people listen to the song. And I love the video for it like so much that we did. And you know, like a lot of people like will hear it and then it'll sound like a romantic song, and I love that people like kind of pull it in that sort of way. But I always joked while I was writing it that like I was pulling such a emphasis on like if Romeo and Juliet were a musical, and I'm sure it does exist in some capacity, but like that would be a song that like Romeo could sing, probably not as poppy as it is, but like it's about environmental like liberation and choosing what influences you and recognizing that there are so many other sort of forces that change the way that you feel, but you always know how you feel in a very deep sort of way, so just follow that. And it's about sort of freeing yourself from all those other barriers and such, and which is a process I learned through songwriting and such too. And you know, releasing it, I was so excited. It was the first time I ever got to share an experience with somebody too. That was the first song I worked with the producer on. And so it was like a moment for us to celebrate. And it was the most like proud I think I've ever been on a song. And of course now I listen to it and I'm like, oh, we could have done that differently, or we could have like done it. But you know, that could go on for forever. But I think it was it was the biggest transitional moment I think I've had in songwriting thus far. And really proud of it. And I'm excited to bring it to life in a whole bunch of ways to come.
It's so amazing. And like you said before, like you wanted to like come back in like a big way. So was that like stressful in a sense?
It was really stressful because I mean I didn't have the opportunity to perform it anywhere, and I did a Friendly Fest. That was like the very first time I got to be able to perform it and such. But it was stressful because I really wanted to follow through with it in a way that was what it deserved, I guess. Like I spent so long working on this song. Like I think I said like there was over like 20 versions of it before this version. And that was like re-record after re-record. Like I re-recorded that song so many times. Um, and you know, once it comes out, like you want to give it the sort of attention and platform it deserves. And you just want to like scream from the top of a building, like, I love this song so much. Like, please, please, please go listen to it. Um, and so it's really tough. Like when it came out, I was literally in my apartment like alone, and I was watching like the music video as it premiered, and it was like woohoo, and like I poured myself a glass of wine and everything, and it was exciting. And then you know, you're like, what do I do now? Like I love this song so much, how do I give it a life beyond a studio? And I think that's one of the trickiest things that I've learned like lately as an artist. Like it is half of the journey, you know, post release, to promote it and get it out there and make people fall in love with it as much as you are. And that's a challenge that I love, and is still a challenge to this day, and why I still find myself talking about this song. And I mean, if I can't, I never voluntarily listen to it anymore, which is awful of me to say, just because, you know, if you spend 6 months listening to a song over and over and over, you get sick of it at one point. But I know the second I get to perform it for people, it's going to feel like it has a whole new life. So
Yeah, totally. And this was your first track as a friendly artist.
yeah,
You're also the president and founder. So I mean,
yeah.
like balancing the two out.
It's so weird, and it's so like funny. And yeah, no, it's and I love people like ask me about that. They're like, how on earth does that work? You know, because like, okay, I started a startup that manages other artists, but I'm also like under that. And part of the reason is just it's just easier
Yeah,
to
why
like, you know, encompass everything together. But like I really do want to emphasize how proud I am of Friendly and this company that my friends and I have created, and how influential and how impactful, and truthfully like how proud I am of all of our work and the platforms that we create, that I was like, I will openly be like, I want to be associated with this in every single way possible. And it's really fun, and I feel like it's a really nice way for me to demonstrate how much trust I have in this organization by putting everything that I'm doing under it.
Yeah, totally. And the team is amazing. I've worked with
The
guys
best.
so many
The
times.
best. I love everyone that's affiliated, and it really feels like this sort of family amongst all of us is growing, especially with the festival. Like all of the what 26 other acts who weren't necessarily working with us day to day, like are now like super close friends of ours. And we're like, how do we keep like working? And it feels like we have this almost intimidating sort of momentum right now, but I love it. I love it so much, and it really, really feels like days are, possibilities are moving faster than we can even imagine, and that's the dream. That's where I've always wanted to be.
Yeah, amazing. That's so cool. I love it. Um, and next, Slowly Fell Undone, another amazing track. Um, what was that creative process like for this one?
Yeah, it was actually crazy. I don't think I've ever actually even told anyone about this either. It was so much faster than Pilot took like 6 months. This one took maybe like 2 weeks.
Oh, wow.
Because we were, I mean, the spoiler alert, Friendly Fest was all pre-taped. So I'm sorry to break any hearts if that's true. But I was, working on building up this set and thinking about like what what do I want to create in some sort of capacity, or what individual sort of experience do I want to like mold? Because I didn't want to just like, play through songs. Like I wanted to craft a set that felt very unique to this festival. And so I was talking with like my team and with everyone at Friendly, and I was like, well, it's like I kind of want to do like new music, but I didn't have at that point new music ready to go. So they were like, then, what are you doing? And I quite literally, I went into my like voice memos, and I had the like, tell me how you like feel sort of melody of the chorus. And I was like, okay, like, I was like, I think this is gonna be the one. And so I sent that to my producer, and she just built up this just angsty like ballad that I was like, this is perfect, because I feel like the only way to deliver this song is live, and I want people's first impression of it to be live. And so quite literally, the song was finished the morning of when we were taping the festival.
Oh my
So I literally like learned the song like and finalized everything like within an hour. I think I even like messed up like the words like in the performance or something like that, because I literally like just did not know the song fully.
God.
But it was fun, and it was, I mean, I love working under pressure. Like the fact that I was like, in the car on the way there and like listen trying to like learn this song before I hopped up to like perform it was so much fun. And we literally shot, this is just how sporadic I am too. We ended up ending the set early. Like we were done, we wrapped the Friendly Fest set. And I was with my team in that room, and I was like, wait, I was like, I really want a music video for Slowly Fell Undone. I was like, and I had this idea in my mind of like having an absolute breakdown,
Yeah.
because I was like, it's going to be so much fun to like make fun, especially as like a breakup song, for like a guy to have an emotional, like overly dramatic like sort of breakdown, like almost like very like musical theater, like Broadway, in a way of like just so over the top. But
Yeah.
then we have those sort of like moments where like I recognize as myself how dramatic I'm being. And we shot that video within like 30 minutes, and I like literally that night edited it myself, and I was like, I love this video so much, because I literally was just running around this space like throwing my hands like everywhere and basically having a meltdown, and we were just like laughing hysterically the whole time, and it was so much fun. I think that brought the song to life in such a way, and I really think you listen to the song in a different way after you hear the video. But it was so fun. It's literally about the frustration of the sort of underlying understanding between two people, and go, why aren't we just being truthful with one another, and how bad that just like hurts. And accepting that there's nothing, we're not necessarily, it's not necessarily broken, but like you can just slowly fall undone, and that's nothing to be like shameful of. um and that's like the story with that. And so I had so much fun with it, and it taught me that I don't have to have such a structure to creating every single song. It can be as random, and we can do it overnight, and you can be really, really proud of it. So it makes me scared. I'm like, okay, what is the next song gonna look like?
It's so spontaneous. I love it.
Yeah, which I'm not at all. So it was like really weird. I'm a very planned, like I love planning, and the
Yeah.
fact that we like wrapped the song, and I was like, okay, it's coming out right around Friendly Fest. And I literally said like during the set, I was just like, it comes out Friday.
Yeah.
And I was like, great. And I was like, that was not planned. Like and I was like, okay, I said in the set, it comes out Friday. So it's going to come out this Friday.
Yeah,
So
it did.
I was like, okay, we'll roll with it.
Yeah. And musically, what's coming next from you?
Yeah, I have a dream that there's an album at the end of this road, but it's going to be a very, very long road.
Okay.
I want to release a ton of singles. I want to tell a bunch of different stories. I want to make a lot of really great music videos to kind of tie along with each of those. So then by the time, probably sometime next year, when you hear the next sort of album from me, it feels like you've been slowly introduced to this story, but it just feels like it's a final chapter once the whole album's out. Because I really want to almost release songs as we're finishing them, because I think it'll tell a really cool narrative by the time you hear a cohesive project.
I love that. That's such a cool idea. And last
I'm also
question.
just impatient too.
Yeah.
That's like why I just like I
Oh,
love I'm so proud of these songs, and I mean we're working on one like now that I think is like one of the best things I've ever written and performed, and like challenged myself to the max with this one. And I'm really, really excited to share it. And I think I have to practice patience a little bit. I got to let these two like breathe a little bit before I go, okay, here's another.
well, no worries, because I'm here waiting. I'm impatient too.
Okay, great. Great. I mean, there's always ideas, and it could change tomorrow. I mean, I could literally call my producer right after this and have an idea, and we just get rolling. So, but it's so fun. I love to work like that.
Yeah, sounds good. Last question. Who are your favorite artists right now?
Yes. Okay. My playlist right now, I've actually like, and this sounds cheesy. I listen to the Friendly Fest playlist almost like every single day. Like I love all those artists who are playing the whole festival, and like just to show my appreciation, want to support them. I'm a huge fan of Lainey, the band. I just bought tickets to their show because I'm that big of a fan. Um, I'm obsessed, I think, with them. I also love the new JP Sax album. I think that's an incredible body of work, and I've listened to it many a times. But it's fun too. Somebody asked me what my favorite song was on it the other day, and I was like, I actually don't even know any of the names of the songs, because I always just press play on 4:30 in Toronto, the first song, and I let it play all the way through, and I know the sounds, but I don't know any of the names of the song because I've just listened to it that many times like that.
Amazing. Well, thank you so much for chatting with me. It was so great to finally meet you, and I cannot wait for whatever comes next.
Me too. And I'll keep you updated with everything. I'm not somebody that lets things fly under the radar. So you'll always know. You'll always know if something's coming.